Attention, due to the nature of the films discussed, the Civil Gore podcast may contain adult language and themes.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Civil Gore, a very special episode. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. Yeah, and it's one of our minisodes. We're kind of breaking from the format from our normal, especially our latest one, which was our countdown to episode 100, or count up technically. I know we're calling it a countdown, but we're going up. But so I don't know how that exactly worded, but yeah. So we thought we'd have a little break from this because, as you know, we mentioned before, Tim and I are going to attend this coming weekend our first ever New Jersey HorrorCon. It's actually our first HorrorCon together.
Yes.
So, but this week, neither one of us have been to this one. It's this weekend, the 29th, 30th, and 31st at the Showboat Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So Tim's actually getting a bonus because he's never been to Atlantic City.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be really fun. And we decided just to do kind of a casual preview episode. We're not going to have our first chop or dismemberment or anything like that. Just going to be kind of talking about what we're looking forward to at the con, some of the events that are happening. It's not intended to be any kind of tip or advice column for the con.
We don't know that.
Because we don't know. We're just kind of talking about, what we're looking forward to and kind of trip planning, I guess, or event planning. And we thought you guys might want to hear about it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So, Brian, I guess first we could kind of run down the guest list because that's probably the thing we're most looking forward to is meeting all the celebrities.
Right, and there's a ton here. I mean, not just from horror, but there's some good pop culture guests that they've kind of been through our various histories of fandom here. Yeah,
I think it's cool, Brian, because both of us are children of the 80s. We love 80s stuff. And the 80s are very well represented at this con. The non-horror stuff is like three of my favorite movies of all time, which is Back to the Future, Gremlins, and Ghostbusters. So we're going to see some guests from all of those. So let's just kind of run down. I'm going down by the official guest page here at the New Jersey HorrorCon website. And first up, the headliner, Leah Thompson.
Yes, she's definitely one of the big ones that they're promoting. And as far as I know, I don't think she does many cons. I've never, I usually stay kind of, up on the news of the cons. Even the ones I know I'm not going to. I like to, I follow a lot of them. We follow a lot on Twitter, and I've not seen her name mentioned very often. So this seems like a real treat that she's going to be there.
Yeah, obviously she's best known for Back to the Future trilogy, but she's also well known for Howard the Duck.
Yes, that's where I'm looking. I mean, of course, Back to the Future, but right after that, to me, it goes to Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I loved Howard the Duck as a kid. The movie is completely bashed by most everyone, but I love that movie. She was also in Jaws 3, which I didn't realize.
That's right. I forget about that. Yeah, she was actually she was really good in that. I like that, her role in that. She played like the because again, technically a lot of people, I mean, I don't know. I say a lot of people, but a couple of people that I've talked to, I know, did not realize that Jaws 3 essentially is in the true timeline of the first two, because the two brothers are in it. The Brody brothers. And it's like, I remember when I saw it, I don't think I caught that. I was a kid when I saw it. But yeah, like, obviously as later viewings, I kind of caught that. I'm like, oh wow, check that out. That's actually supposedly the brothers grown up. And so that was kind of fun.
She was also in the classic Red Dawn. She's been in Tales from the Crypt. She's been, obviously was Carolyn in the City, which I never watched, but
she had a great stint on Scorpion too.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's got she's a little. I think she was at a kind of a little 2 or 3 episode arc or something like that. But it was she was really good on that. I mean, and there's so many things. I mean, All the Right Moves. She was in a lot of stuff. So she's well known. Of course, her daughter is taking the helm, and Zoe, doing a ton of stuff. She's a big. I think they could named her one of the It Girls or something, whatever that, if they still use that term or whatever. I saw it in Entertainment Weekly or something, but yeah.
Then, of course, our other Back to the Future guest is Tom Wilson, who, of course, played Biff in the Back to the Future trilogy. He was also in April Fool's Day, Freaks and Geeks, SpongeBob SquarePants, Legends of Tomorrow, and also a comedian. He does stand-up, or he used to do stand-up at least at some point.
I believe he's on Ghost Whisperer at a point also. He was
Oh,
on
really?
Ghost Whisperer a couple episodes. Yeah, he played like Cameron Manheim when she came on, I think in season 2 or 3. He played like a love interest for her. And it's weird to see him as such a nice, friendly guy because you know, obviously, and his Biff. And you know, it's funny when you bring up Biff. It's like, you know, you always bring up all these great things about Back to the Future. I mean, everyone loves that trilogy. But just imagine if Biff was played by someone who was not as good as Tom Wilson.
Oh, I know.
That movie is not the same. I'm sorry, you know, you don't have that great trilogy without Tom Wilson. Also, you know, it's like he cannot be understated how good he was in that.
Yeah, he was one of the all-time greatest movie bullies, in my opinion.
Yeah,
all time.
Yeah, I mean, right up there with Johnny Lawrence. I guess, or basically anyone William Zabka played,
and the really, kid from Christmas Story with the yellow eyes.
Right, Scott Farkas.
Scott Farkas.
He follows us on Twitter, by the way.
That's right. So we're gonna get our networking with all the movie bullies.
That's our goal. We're gonna try and have a plethora of movie bullies in our guest repertoire.
We got a non-human Back to the Future guest, which was the DeLorean Time Machine. I saw this at Mad Monster Party. The DeLorean's awesome to see in person. Yeah. Granted, I don't know if it's the movie used one or if it's just a reconstruction or whatever. Anyway, it's impressive no matter what.
Well, I think Ernest Cline owns one of them. Doesn't he own one of the movie prop ones? I thought
sounds like
one
it.
That did Ready Player One. He either has a movie replica one that was designed, or he has an actual one from the movie. I'm not sure. I got to look that up. But
then also the great James Token is going to be there. He was, of course, the principal in Back to the Future, and he was also in the Amityville Horror, Masters of the Universe. Oh, Kevin should love this. Masters of the Universe and Dick Tracy.
Oh my God, you're right. He's in pretty much Kevin. If he somehow snuck into Maximum Overdrive, I think Kevin would have to come with us.
I know. Oh my gosh. Definitely looking forward to seeing him. I mean, he's just a fantastic character actor.
Yeah. Who never ages. I think and they even make the joke in Back to the Future, but I think it's true. He looks the same in everything he's been in.
And then next up, we have a Gremlins reunion with Frances Lee McCain and Zach Galligan. And Brian, you said Frances Lee McCain's a crossover with Back to the Future.
She is, yeah. She's got that crossover. She's the mom, of course, in Back to the Future. Played Lorraine's mom, and she plays Billy's mom in Gremlins.
She's like the ultimate '80s mom besides Dee Wallace.
I know. She's definitely got a. Well, you know what? You know how we like to pair alternate universes. Maybe somehow in there they're sisters, and they're like they're both the respective families' aunts, and stuff. So I'm sure we can, if we think hard enough, we can tie those universes in there easily through Dee Wallace and Frances McCain.
Yeah. Now next up, bear with us because the guest list is kind of a weird order. They put some of their headliners up top, and then they move some to the middle and some to the bottom, and kind of mix it all up. So next up is Chris Jericho. I'm not big into wrestling. I was when I was younger. I don't keep up with it much anymore. I've heard his name before, but I know him best probably from his podcast, which is Talk is Jericho. Great. And it's a great podcast. I've been listening to it pretty much nonstop since I found out about it.
And of course, it's called Talk is Jericho.
Yeah, it's a really good podcast. He brings on some really wacky guests. Like he brought in some of the Flat Earther people.
Oh, my God.
And I mean, he's not afraid to bring in some real crazy guys. He has some podcasts about more paranormal type stuff, which are the ones I've been listening to. And then he had a fantastic interview with David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, that was a great interview because you could tell he's a true fan of Terrifier. He and Art the Clown. He loved that. And it's so funny because he was saying stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly how we like to say it too.
Yeah.
You know, I said this shows how big the DHT and Art the Clown have become because it's like it stretches to everyone in every podcast.
Yeah.
And actually, another little side note too. What I want to talk to him about is his dad used to play for the New York Rangers.
Oh, really?
His real name is actually Chris Irvine, and so his dad's was Ted Irvine. He used to play for the Rangers. So
that's cool.
I'm gonna have to talk to him about that a little bit too.
That's awesome. Next up was kind of a late surprise entry to the guest list, and that was Shannon Elizabeth from, of course, American Pie fame, Scary Movie, 13 Ghosts. Night of the Demons remake, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So she's been in a ton of stuff.
They left off Jack Frost. I think it was her first horror movie, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
funny.
She played the one with she played the girl in the tub with the snow. Where the first snowman, when the snowman attacked her in the shower.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that one for sure. And then the next one up, man, this is probably one of my most anticipated, especially since he's doing free photos and signings after the event. But Mick Garris, and I think we've mentioned this before, but Mick Garris is doing this discussion and free signing Friday and Saturday night that we've just got to see.
Oh, yeah. Thank God they do two of them, because the fact that he does two allows us to kind of hit all the big events that they're showing there. Because that's another thing we'll get into briefly after, is that this con is just not a meet and greet and vendor tables, which I found that there's, I think, over 150 vendors at it. But it's, it's a film festival. It's got film awards, and it's got special events afterwards with some panels and stuff. So it's almost like a mini Comic-Con and all that stuff they have. It's
much bigger than I expected. I thought this was going to be like a very, I've only been to, like Mad Monster Party. It's a very kind of small-ish con, but this is like a lot. I mean, there's 40 plus guests here and 100 plus vendors. I mean, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, and I did a spreadsheet for to show. I think I mentioned it in the last show too, about basically what's going on at every point in the day in terms of photo ops, guests, and I color coded it because I'm a spreadsheet obsessed weirdo, as Tim could attest.
Yeah, well, I am too. So I love the organization because I'm right there with you.
Tim and I are like always sharing spreadsheets with each other. It's like we're so spreadsheet nerds.
Yeah.
But and so like it's all color coded. So like we can literally be anywhere at any time and know exactly what's going on and what we're missing. Yeah. So we can really look at this thing and judge like, okay, what do we not want to miss here?
Yeah.
And what are we willing to give up for this, and we could see it across. So
there's going to be a Ghostbusters reunion with Jennifer Runyon, Timothy Carhart, and Ernie Hudson. And like I told you before, I've met Ernie Hudson at the Wilmington PopCon. That was like 4 or 5 years ago now. And he was super friendly, and got a picture with him, which was on my Facebook profile for a long time. But I'm looking forward to meeting him again. And also, I think I'm going to get my Winston action figure signed. I don't usually get stuff like that signed, but that would just be cool, I think.
Yeah, and he loves Ghostbusters like stuff like that. Like I've seen it. Like I think he was on Comic Book Man once, and he loves signing Ghostbusters merchandise, especially ones with Winston, of course.
Yeah, so I think I'll bring that. I don't have much to bring to have people sign, but I think that would just be a really, really cool one to do. We also have the Ecto 1A, which will be there, which I've also seen in person, and that's always impressive to see the Ecto cars when they have those all dolled up. Richard Grieco from 21 Jump Street, Mobsters, Gargoyles, The Night of the Roxbury, If Looks Could Kill. I don't know much about him. I've seen him and stuff. I just don't know much about him, really.
I mean, nothing against him. It was that seemed like the oddest of guests out of there, because he was big in the '80s through 21 Jump Street and stuff like that. But like I was trying to piece together, he's not like super '80s nerdy nostalgia.
No,
and he's not horror really. So like, where did like his place come in? But I guess maybe Gargoyles, that could be the connection.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus the ladies, he gives the ladies somebody to.
That's true.
He was like kind of a poster.
Yeah,
guy.
That's true. Yeah.
The Pet Cemetery reunion, I'm really looking forward to. So you're gonna have Miko Hughes, Denise Crosby, Dale Midkiff, and Brad Greenquist, all from Pet Cemetery. And a fantastic photo op with them, too. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I think we should ask all four of them what they think John Lithgow will smell like in the new movie. So we brought that up. I was cracking up last night because Daddy's Home 2 was on, and, John Lithgow stars as Will Ferrell's dad in it, and all I could think of is every scene he's in, like, what would he smell like at that moment after our discussion from last week? So.
Oh, my gosh. John Kassir from Tales from the Crypt, the Crypt Keeper's voice. Brian, you've got to do the Crypt Keeper.
I gotta somehow bring up the courage, whether it takes a couple of beers right before it or something. I have got to go the courage to go up to him and let him know, because everyone listens to this podcast, of course, knows that I've done the voice many, many a time. But that voice imitation I do has been spread on other podcasts. Like, it actually didn't even start with ours. It started with our good buddies over there at Coaster Radio.
Yeah.
It made it to Theme Park Families, and of course here. It needs to make it to RTO, I think, just so it gets the all four big ones. But But yeah, so I'd love to see just to go up and just I gotta tell him at least. I said, you don't understand. I said and I hope you don't try and sue me after I tell you this, but I need to tell you that I've loved your portrayal of Crypt Keeper and that voice, and that's one of the few impressions that I feel so confident about that I will do it at many places. And I want to see he could just be like, oh, that's great. Thanks, and then and that's the end of it. Or he could say, "Oh, let me hear it." So
yeah, or he could listen to it and say that was terrible and crush your spirit forever.
And crush my spirit. But you know what? Though people enjoy it, so I probably still wouldn't stop. And then again, in all honesty, it's probably better if it's not as good because, as Tim and I like to do, our bad impressions are what we love the most on this show.
It would be terrible if we had really good impressions.
If there was a really good one that was authorized by the original. I mean, that's like the kiss of death. I'd have to stop doing it, I think. At least on this show. I could do it on others, but I couldn't do it on ours.
Adrienne Barbeau is going to be there. Another one I'm highly looking forward to. Of course, she was in The Things. She was Swamp Thing, Cannonball Run, Creep Show, The Fog. I mean, her list is endless.
Yeah. Did you see one of our listeners, David, wrote about that, and he goes, I heard you're meeting Adrienne Barbeau. I used to have that poster.
You know the one I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I was cracking up because I do know the one he means. And that'll be a fun guest meeting, especially because she does her podcast on Shudder. She's one actually I really am interested in talking to. I will say, Tim, I may embarrass you by telling her to do this, but I may ask her to do her line from Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh,
Tell me not to throw my clothes on the broiler chair.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been listening to that podcast. She Kills is the podcast name, and it's wonderful. It's really, really, really good. And you could tell she's got that radio voice.
Oh yeah,
and she's so poised. Unlike us, she has really good podcast skills.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear a professional doing a professional podcast.
Yeah, we just kind of not everyone can just pick up the mic and kind of get right into it. Like Tim and I had such limited experience on any kind of podcast before we did this. I mean, we of course we appeared on Coaster Radio and stuff, but yeah, I mean, when we picked up, if you just I know we tell people not to, but if you really want to hear where we started at, just go listen to our episode 1 and you'll see, just because we literally forgot we could edit.
Yeah.
And I do say we've gotten a lot better. We're definitely more natural now, but there's some people that just can pick it up. I mean, some of the ones that I know we listen to and promote on the show, they just kind of episode 1 and they just keep going like they've been doing it for 30 years already. We needed to work at it.
I still haven't gone back to listen to our early episodes. I can't do it.
Yeah. Manitou is probably the only one I'd go back to and listen because that's a fun one.
I'm afraid to. Next up, of course, David Howard Thornton. I missed him at Mad Monster Party, so this was my chance to see him and for Brian and I to see him together, which is even cooler.
Yeah.
So
he'll either love that or regret it.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, he's excited. He's excited to see us.
Yeah, and hopefully we're going to get that professional photo op with Art the Clown. I think that's the one professional photo op we're definitely going to spring for.
Yeah, we're gonna, because we want to have a good promo photo, and especially because it meant so much that he came on and we got to interview him, and it was one of our favorite films that we've seen while doing the podcast. So it was definitely I think that's a really good one to get as a photo. Plus, I know he's been doing it a couple of times, but to get a horror icon in his full makeup from the movie like that, it's almost a thing you can't pass up.
Yeah.
Because if he goes to the way almost everybody thinks he's going to be, he will be at Robert Englund status within a few years. And what is going to, he won't be able to do those kind of things anymore.
Yeah.
He'll be too busy.
Yeah. So we have
to be on
that.
Terrifier 3 and 4 and go into space.
Yeah.
With Terrifier 5, so we can't,
This next guy I'm really looking forward to meeting because it's his first con ever. Speaking of rare con appearances, this is Lyndon Porco, who does played the Leprechaun in the latest Leprechaun film, The Leprechaun Returns, and also is a Chucky body double. How cool is that?
Right, yeah. So there's you get two iconic horror villains right there in one guy, so that's awesome.
That sounds cool. Great Mark Patton from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. He was at Mad Monster Party. I never got to meet him, though, I don't believe. I can't remember if I did or not. So this will be my second chance at him.
Well, don't open with that line.
No. Kim Myers, also from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I still know her better from Seinfeld for some reason.
Right? Yeah,
I don't
she
know why.
played the Pam with the scrunchie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just because I love Seinfeld so much. To me, she's not Kim Myers from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. She's Kim Myers from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the horror fans out there that.
Yeah, well, when I did see her on Seinfeld, I said, "Oh, that's the girl from Nightmare on Elm Street." But now she's developed into the girl from Seinfeld. Yeah.
Ken Sagoes from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4 is going to be there.
Kincaid.
Cannot wait to meet him. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ken Page from Nightmare Before Christmas, voice actor. So that'll be pretty cool because I love Nightmare Before Christmas. That's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Linnea Quigley from Night of the Demons, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Return of the Living Dead.
Oh my God, what hasn't she been in? Really? This list could go on. This list will go on.
And she's even doing a Night of the Demons in costume photo op. That sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, with Amelia Kincaid, they're wearing the dresses from the movie, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
that would be another one I think might be fun to do, but it does get pricey, and it's an expensive weekend. There's so many things you're gonna want to buy at the tables. It's like hard. You got to really. And that's another thing I did, by the way, on the spreadsheet. I put literally every price to every single professional photo op. Where I incorporated even the little fee in there. That's why it was weird prices, Tim. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah,
because I put that in. And I literally put every single photo op opportunity down there. I mean, I have to update it because I didn't add the animal from Legion of Doom that got added in there.
Yeah,
but,
as we mentioned, Amelia Kincaid from Night of the Demons, and next up. Probably my most anticipated guest right here.
I think so too. Yeah, and I mean, because I met David Howard Thornton already, so I mean, definitely looking good to see him. But I'm basing it on guests that I've never got to meet yet.
Right. Joe Bob Briggs, of course, is going to be there, which I cannot freaking wait because I adored Monster Vision. That was my tradition. Every night that was on, that's what I was watching. I was glued to the set. And that was back in the days when I'd fire up MIRC chat client. We'd get on there with a bunch of other Monster Vision fans. And we would we'd literally do the movies Mystery Science Theater 3000 style. And we had a program, and I've probably told this on the podcast before, so forgive me. But we had a program where you could send sound effects to other people's computers.
I remember that. Yeah,
in the chat room. So we would have quotes from the movies already queued up, and we would play stuff, at the right time, and so it would blast through your computer. I don't know. It was so much fun. That was the early days of me really getting in on the internet and social media in a way because it was a chat room. And first time I was really connecting with other people over the internet, I guess you could say.
Well, hey, technically, if you think about it, that's how you and I actually met because it was in the Costa Radio chat room.
That's right.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then this Civil Gore would not have happened we said that at Costa Radio, but specifically because of Costa Radio's little chat that they used to have. So that was that. Well, I mean, they still have it, I guess, technically during their recordings. So yeah. So I mean, who would have thought, Tim? Years later, that could have been the key to your whole podcasting fame.
I know. That's what I cannot wait to meet Joe Bob. I just hope he lives up to expectations because I have high expectations.
Oh, I think he will. And we have a really cool opportunity because that Friday night, which is the first night of the show, is also when the Shudder Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In series starts.
Right.
So we could literally watch that show. Maybe we can maybe he'll be watching it somewhere with all of us, and we can all watch or not. If we could talk about him the next day with it, say, "Hey, good job last night." So that'll be kind of cool.
That's really cool. Felissa Rose, another one I'm really looking forward to meeting.
Yeah.
I missed her at Mad Monster Party. Something happened where I did not get to meet her, but she seems super cool.
Oh my God, yeah! If you follow her on social media,
oh my gosh,
too,
she just sounds super down to earth. So I cannot wait to meet her. Now, I absolutely want to tell her that final scene in Sleepaway Camp freaked me out.
I'm
sure she hears that all the time.
Yeah, but she probably loves it every time too.
Yeah.
And I saw her actually on social media. She was promoting all her con appearances this year, and there was one picture she had of where she's actually making that exact face.
Oh yeah, she loves to do that.
She likes to pose with that face, so that'll be cool.
Oh my God, I love it. Tiffany Shepis from she's been in so much. Victor Crowley, a lot of the Trauma films, Tales of Halloween, Sharknado 2, Toxic Avenger 4, which I just started watching. So can't wait to meet her. She's just one of those ubiquitous horror ladies that's just in everything.
Yeah, she's at that Linnea Quigley level,
of
being in a lot of stuff.
The next one up, I'm also really looking forward to. This is Ari Lehman from Friday the 13th. He, of course, played the Jason who jumps out of the water at the end. That's his claim to fame.
The original jump scare.
The original jump scare. And again, another one I got to tell him that pretty much one of the all-time biggest jump scares I've ever had in my life was that.
And we know Tim loves his jump scares, so that's pretty high praise there.
Yeah, so I'm bringing some items that I may get signed depending on the cost. Like, I'm not there to buy like a ton of autographs, really.
Yeah.
So it depends on the cost, but I am bringing my copy of Friday the 13th just in case.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should bring something. Yeah, maybe I should bring something like that. I have to look. I didn't even start figuring that part out yet. And it's so funny because I have such an easy thing because I can literally throw everything in my trunk.
Yeah.
Tim has got to pack for a trip, because I'm picking him up at the airport, so he needs to literally be ready to go, with as minimal bags as possible.
Yeah. Jason Marsden, I don't know much about this guy. He was in Hocus Pocus, The Monsters Today, Goofy Movie, Full House, Step by Step, Boy Meets World. I guess he does some voice work and stuff too.
I think he does a lot of animation voices. One thing about Ari Lehman too is we got to remember he's also performing his band.
Oh, really?
Which is called First Jason. Yeah, his band is playing in the lobby at one of the nights. They have it set up or the bar or something. Yeah, so I think it's Saturday night. So we got to go check that out too. See his band play.
That's awesome. Britney Daniel, who you know from Club Dread, Joe Dirt, Rampage, The Hillside Strangler Murders. So another one of those horror females. She's been in a couple things. Kim Director, who was in...
Who ironically is an actress? No.
Yeah, it's ironically. Yeah. She was in Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, and Inside Man, and HBO's The Deuce, and Split, actually.
I looked to see, I think she's uncredited in Split, though. That's why I was trying to figure out where she was in it, but I think she's one of the... I forgot. They said where it was. I looked it up and where it said she was in it, but I think it's an uncredited role. But also with I gotta say that was probably she was one of the really bright spots in Book of Shadows.
Yeah. The next one up, another one I'm super looking forward to, especially after watching the documentary about him, is Lloyd Kaufman, who is the president of Troma, who directed all of the Toxic Avenger movies, tons of Troma films. I mean, he's just he's got his hands in everything Troma. And I was just recently, like I said on a couple episodes ago, just got into Toxic Avenger. I was blown away. I absolutely love those movies.
Yeah. And remember they're working on the remake now that's supposed to be true horror, but I wonder if it's going to be the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of appeal.
And this guy seems like such a character. I cannot wait to meet him.
Oh, and real quick, his thing is his latest film is going to have a focus group screening, the Shakespeare shit, I think.
Shitstorm.
Yeah.
Which that one's at 11 o'clock at night, so we could probably make that one.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll definitely be able to make that.
Yeah.
If we're up and still we may just have to pour some coffee down our throats and suck it up and go see it.
Yeah. Scott Lobdell, who wrote the Happy Death Day series, and also wrote some comic book stuff. So I'm looking forward to talking to him about that series. But no spoilers, because I still haven't seen Happy Death Day to You.
Oh my God, that's right. You haven't seen that.
CJ Ramone of the Ramones, I know one of Kevin's buddies is really jealous about this one because he's a big Ramones fan. So that'll be cool. John Russo, who I met at Mad Monster Party, he was a really nice guy. He was an actor and writer of Night of the Living Dead. And he's the one that had Brian, and I may have mentioned it before, he had this big framed Night of the Living Dead thing, and basically it had dirt from the cemetery.
Oh, yeah, I remember this, yeah.
It had pay stub checks for some of the zombies. It had autographs. It had all this stuff, and he was selling it for $65, and I was like, I don't have $65.
Oh no!
And I was
maybe he'll bring it again.
I know. I hope. God, I wish I had bought that stupid thing. I don't know where I would have put it, but it was just awesome. Butch Patrick from the Munsters, who again I met at Mad Monster Party, and Harvey Spencer Stevens from The Omen. This is supposedly this is kind of a rare appearance.
Yeah, because he's another one I don't see it listed very often.
Yeah, and he looks just the same. He looks like the same kid, just grown up to a older man.
He does. If he does that squint at me, though, I'm going to freak out. I'm telling you. You know, if he squints at me like at that thing, I'm gonna start looking above my head, making sure like a light's not coming down on me or something. I don't know.
Velvet Sky, pro wrestler. Again, I don't know wrestling, so I'm going to be a little lost when it comes to the wrestlers. But
it's so funny. I didn't know. I know she was a wrestler, but what I remember her most for is her one appearance on Impractical Jokers. She came in, she pantsed her.
Oh,
she was the one that had the pants her. It was pretty funny.
Ashley Massaro, a WWE diva. She was on Survivor China and also Smallville.
Oh, so she's got some beyond wrestling cred there and some stuff, so that's good.
Jake the Snake Roberts. I mean, that one goes back to my days of wrestling, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I knew Jake the Snake, so that one will be my one wrestler that I kind of know something about. And Damian Leone, of course, of Terrifier.
Him I want to talk to because first of all, we have two reasons. One, I just want to go up to him and pretty much be all sound dorky, but thank him for making such an awesome movie and bringing Art the Clown to the world the way he did, and the foresight of getting David Howard Thornton to be to play him and make such a great role out of it. But also, we need to secure our place in Terrifier 2, which was sort of promised to us by David Howard Thornton.
That's right.
So we need to script. I already have the role. I totally have the role in mind.
All right, what is it?
It's a real stretch for us. We're going to be playing podcasters who are obsessed with the legend of Art the Clown. And, we're going to just be off to the side, but we're going to kind of somehow find our way in and hopefully get killed by Art the Clown.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so I think that would be good. I think that, we wouldn't take any pay. We just want to do it for fun.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a pretty good negotiation tactic right there. No pay.
Well, what more can you ask for? And two talented individuals such as ourselves.
Right. Exactly. I mean, and plus, anyone that knows us after about 10 minutes, who wouldn't want to see us get sliced on camera?
Right.
Right? Yeah. So.
Ming Chen from Comic Book Men, and he's going to be podcasting all weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him. He's fun. He was one of my favorites on Comic Book Man too, because he was always he kind of liked his fandom was kind of the same stuff I liked, so it was kind of cool. I like to relate. And he actually there was a funny episode that where Lloyd Kaufman came on and he was casting for a Trauma film, and they remember it was Ming, Mike, Walt, and Brian Johnson were all trying to audition for the role by vomiting up toxic stuff. And so it was really funny.
Bob Camp, creator of Ren and Stimpy. So that goes way back. I'll tell you what, though, that was an influential cartoon if you think about it, because you see so much animation done with that style nowadays. I still see it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Vinny from Black Sabbath and Dio, drummer, heavy metal drummer. Again, it's kind of out of my wheelhouse. But that'd still be cool. Joel Robinson, he does horror art, some really cool horror art, actually. He's done some DVD covers.
Yeah, see, those are the kind of guests sometimes that are really fun to go stop by their table because they have a ton of cool stuff you might want to buy.
Yeah, I know one of the best parts of Gen Con was their art stuff, because they had tons of vendors that just sold artwork, and some of these guys had done fantasy artwork for major games and D&D stuff like that. Fantasy novels I had read, and it was just so cool, getting to go up and talk to these guys that did these amazing, amazing paintings. So that was one of my favorite parts of Gen Con, actually, which I never would have believed. But talking to those artists is really, really cool. The Amazing Kreskin Mentalist. I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
He's been making the circuits because he's going to Chiller too. So I don't know. Maybe he's just in town for a while and he's gonna.
That must be a thing.
Maybe he lives in New Jersey. I don't know.
Because there was some kind of mentalist guy at the PopCon that I didn't know who he was. He was some psychic guy or whatever. But Father Evil, I'm looking forward to meeting this guy. He sounds like he
looks cool.
He looks like a cool guy. And then Scott Spillman, another artist, has some really cool horror art. Chris Madd, another artist illustrator, and then the ultimate Marty McFly cosplayer, Matt Bell.
Yeah,
that sounds cool. I am so looking forward to getting as many photo ops as possible with the cosplayers. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to. I'm gonna literally have my my phone will cleared of all non-essential pictures, so I have as much space as possible. But still, I want to make sure we get pictures with everybody, because a lot of these cosplayers, I know that Seth and I met when we went to Chiller. like go around, and they're like, kind of like, how Tom, our friend Tom, his wife Kelly,
Yeah.
she does all these like conventions as she's got her own site, her own brand, and she does a lot of Doctor Who stuff, and she goes to all these conventions every week. So they're like, some of these cosplayers, that's like their thing, to really go around and meet and greet and get promoted. So like it'll be great. We'll take pictures with them. We'll mention them on the mention them on the show. Maybe they'll come on sometimes. It's really cool to when you get to talk to those people that they just make cosplaying such a good part of their life. It's really cool.
Yeah. I can't wait. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I want to see that. There's the one. Remember, what did I say? The Ripley and Alien. There was a cosplayer I saw that they said were coming, where they go. It's a husband and wife. They cosplay as Ripley and the Alien.
Oh my gosh,
and
that
they
sounds
go
cool.
around. Yeah. Speaking of that, real quick, off the side. I know we're not doing this stuff, but I don't know if you guys you caught that. Did you see the thing with the New Jersey high school?
Yes.
The Alien as their play.
Oh my
How cool
god,
is
that looked incredible. Like I wish somebody would film it and just post the whole
I
thing.
could have gone to that if Cone would have known and soon enough. I could have drove down there.
Oh man,
Right by his house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what other events are you looking forward to, Brian? I know we talked about the Mick Garris thing. Of course, we're definitely going to go see that. I think we're also going to definitely try to make Karaoke night.
Yeah, just because Karaoke. I mean, I don't think you're gonna get Tim and I up there to sing probably,
No.
but Karaoke hosted by the Crypt Keeper. I mean, it's already the pun right in there, and I just want to see like live Crypt Keeper puns just shooting at us. And who knows? Maybe we'll be buddies by then. And like if he has his voice is a little off and he wants to take a rest, I could fill in for him. He would notice.
Although I will say, me or you singing would truly be Karaoke. Like that would.
Oh yeah, that would be the definition of Karaoke. Yeah, I don't think there'd be much scarier okie out there than that. But
Now there's some fantastic panels, and I don't know what we're gonna do because all these panels are like incredible, and they take a huge amount of time. Like Saturday, we could literally spend all day in panels and never see a guest. Probably.
Yeah, no, and I'm like, I was looking. I'm like, there's pretty much stuff to keep us occupied the entire time without even hitting the show floor, and that's some of the best parts.
Yeah.
So it's like I think, and then not only are all those panels like okay, so there's one I think we should definitely try and hit because we're big fans and big promoters. There's an indie horror panel on Friday night at 6:00. But the problem is it goes literally right up till about 5 minutes before we need to get over to get if we get that pro photo op with David Howard Thornton. But I think we could do it. It's not like, I think it's all on one big, massive floor the way they have the showboat because it's basically takes over there's no casino there anymore. And so I think the casino floor is the show floor. So the little rooms probably right around the side of it are where they might have screenings and stuff like that. So I don't think it's not like we're going to have to, like Comic-Con, they'll say like, you might have to go from one side of that building to another and it'll take you half an hour. I think we could get there in 5 minutes. I'm just, it's like Friday, we're right there. We're literally checking into the hotel. Next thing you know, we're there and then we're at a panel and then we're running over it's crazy, but I mean, the good thing is we have about a just under 2-hour ride from after I pick you up. We can discuss this all.
Yeah, we're going to have to make a plan of attack because it's really going to be...
Seriously.
It's literally going to be wall to wall to wall. I don't even know what time the thing opens on Saturday. It looks like 10:30. At least we'll have a little bit of... Maybe we can sleep in a little bit. Depending on how late we stay up. But I think it's going to be so jam-packed. We are not going to stop from the time we get
Yeah,
there.
I mean, look at this. There is Gremlins, Back to the Future, and Ghostbusters panel. Back to back to back.
Like literally from 11 to 2, we could just sit there.
And we can't, and the thing is like, you kind of want to see that, but then right after that is Joe Bob's Briggs panel. So I know we got to see that. So I'm like, do we really want to be in like literally panels for like 4 straight hours when all the stuff on the show floor is going on?
No, there's no way.
Like, I think like it's going to be tough. Like the Joe Bob Briggs is one I think we need to hit.
Yeah.
We need to hit that panel. That's too iconic not to be there for that. Especially it's going to be the day after the debut of his show. We got to see it. And plus, not to mention that, now there's also an entire film festival going on the entire time we're there.
Right.
So that, and I'm looking, and so I basically did, one day I just for like about 4 hours, I literally researched every film and found everything I could on it and gave a little synopsis, almost like our dismemberment. But it still doesn't really help because they all sound good. But what I did do is there's also the filmmakers, they're doing an award ceremony. So when I looked at the award ceremony, I looked to see there seems to be a couple of movies that appear multiple times on there. I'm thinking maybe we try and target those at least.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because, I mean, there's one, it's called The Killer Clown Meets the Candyman. That just sounds right up me and Tim's alley. I think we need to find that. And that's in the best New York, New Jersey film category. So that should be interesting. But then there was another one. Oh, She Meaning the Body on the Floor. And that guy's up for Best Director, and I think it was up for Best Actor. So that one seems like something I might want to see, too. There's a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah, and then I also thought, depending on how much we get done Friday and Saturday, Sunday might be our day to like do all the leftover stuff that we didn't get a chance to do. So that might be a day if we've already met all the guests on Sunday, that could be the day we can hit a lot of these films as well.
Right. And Sunday actually, it's funny because so one of on one Sunday, there's one of those big movies I wanted to see on the Sunday, and I think it was which one was that? Oh yeah, She Meaning the Body on the Floor, the one I mentioned. It's 11:24 on Sunday, so that's before we need to leave for the airport for you.
Yeah.
So we could definitely fit that one in, and that's only I think it's only it's 10 minutes long, so it's a short. A lot of these are shorts, by the way. There are a couple of features, but they're But like I said, there's short, and like I mean, as much as I would love to watch it in like a group setting, I mean, we've seen Terrifier a lot of times. I don't know if I may want to pop in toward the end when they do the Q&A, maybe, but I don't know if we need to watch the movie there.
No,
because we've seen it enough times. So that seems like like not a great use of our time to repeat something that we've seen numerous times.
Yeah, I think I think we definitely need to go see Shakespeare Shitstorm because that's 11 o'clock. There's not going to be anything else going on at that time. We could definitely do that one. And
it's a test screener focus group kind of thing. So we could like cultivate. They'll probably give some opinion stuff after, and you never know. Maybe we'll get cast in that too.
Yeah.
Once they hear Tim's dulcet tones, they may just have to put him in a voiceover role at least.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll figure it out. I think it'll be one of those that we're just gonna have to play it by ear because we don't know. We don't know how much we're gonna get done or how much we're not, and we're just gonna have to kind of be flexible and
because I want time on the floor. You want time on the floor because you can find some amazing collectibles and just rare things, and then you meet people through there. Plus, there's also some filmmaker spotlight tables where there's filmmakers and their production companies set up with tables, and they do a lot of promotion stuff, and it's good to meet them because you never know if we could help them spread the word about their film and their production company, and help them out because we love, that's one of the things we love to do on the podcast. We like to, we always love to promote either fellow podcasts, fellow filmmakers, anything like that. So it's, you don't want to miss that either by being, stuck in a panel for 6 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I think we both agree our focus is definitely going to be the show floor. It'll be vendors, celebrities, and cosplay. Just kind of networking will be our primary focus. And then all this other stuff is what we'll try to sneak into. And we'll identify, like we said, the ones that we really, really, really want to do. They're must-sees. So, I cannot wait. Very much looking forward to it. I've already packed, actually. Yeah,
me too, actually. Other than just like pretty much packing my like computer bag because, like I said, we'll try and maybe record some recaps at night.
Yeah.
If we're alive and awake. Maybe like a little segment. So I'm bringing my old mic and, my laptop just so we can get some, record some stuff. Other than that, I've my clothes have been packed and all that stuff. I have some I have that your Halloween post, and I have some of the giveaway stuff for our contest that I sending back with Tim, because he's got the majority of it.
Sweet.
So I got that for Tim, and so it's got this is going to be a crazy weekend. We are probably the sleep will be at such a minimum. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I don't even know when we're going to have time to eat.
Because not for nothing, the options at the Showboat are not the best in terms of food, but yet like right next door the Hard Rock, which is connected, and gambling. If we wanted to gamble a little, forget that. We're not gonna have time. And there's that whole there's some great stuff on the boardwalk. Like there's a haunted attraction there. I mean, literally, we're just not going to get to all of it. No. There's going to be stuff we know we're just not getting to. But yeah, as for food, I mean, breakfast will probably be the only meal we'll be able to fit in on a normal without feeling like we're missing something because we can go before the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we can go to the sub sandwich place and just grab a sandwich and just nosh it on the show floor.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I think you got to.
Be rude.
You got to get into a con mode, which is pure survival. All right, guys. Well, that's our little con preview, and of course, when we come back, we'll have all the details of what we saw, who we met, all that kind of good stuff. So I hope you enjoyed our little taste of what's to come, and we'll be back next week with our con wrap up of New Jersey HorrorCon. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and don't forget to keep an eye on our social media because we'll try and post as much as we can. I know we say that every time, but this one I think will be definitely more conducive to that because it's not like rides and stuff we're missing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. We'll see you back here next week.
See you later.